voice of Echo. Please welcome Reed Shannon!
Okay, excuse me while he introduces everybody else. I gotta set up chat. Everybody say what's up to Twitch!
And next, she's an actress whose roles include across stage and screen Fancy Nancy, Orange is the New Black, and the touring production of Matilda the Musical. Today she joins us as the voice of Powder. Please welcome Mia Sinclair! He's doing his.
Hi guys.
And next, he is a prolific actor and director whose body of work includes Barry, Beware the Batman, Naruto Shippuden, Kung Fu Panda, and Castlevania. Today he joins us to discuss the voices of the aristocratic Arias Balbec and the protective vendor, aka Warwick. Please welcome J.B. Blanc. Whose roles include Young Justice, Batman Hush, and Star Wars The Clone Wars. Today he joins us as the voice of him and the villainous Silco. Please welcome Jason Spisak!
Hello. Oh my gosh, guys. You don't understand, bro. Doing a panel with Patty is amazing because he has candy.
No one told me about
And
this.
that's what? There will be rewards.
That's
if you behave.
Well, I gave him the little rules, and they say inside the lines, and I ask a question, gets all that stuff. But first of all, guys, welcome to Jacksonville. Woo! So glad to have you here. What I would love to do is, I've heard some of these stories before, but I would love for them to hear it. First and foremost, I would love to hear how, for each of you, this gig came about.
What gig? Oh, Arcane.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Is that what we're here for?
I got the audition, just like normal auditions do come through the mailbox. And at the time, there was just this tiny little picture of Silco that looked somewhat like the character ended up, but not completely. And a monologue that was, "Do you ever wonder what it's like to drown?" And I just read that monologue, and like any other audition, and then I got the call back to go and see Christian and Alex in the booth, and these two wonderfully, lovely, incredibly talented, visionary young men were in the booth with me. It was the strangest thing ever, because normally when you read, there's a pane of glass, and they stand on the other side, and you do your bit, and then they direct you. But in this case, they actually walked into the room and sat with me while we worked on the voice together. It was an incredibly collaborative and beautiful experience, and I think they were trying to judge how good of a collaborator I would be. So in a sense, it wasn't just an audition to be an actor who could interpret a character and make a voice. It was also, can you be a good collaborator? And in the end, I think that's what makes Arcane a masterpiece, because everyone in it was an incredibly good collaborator.
I paid a very large and hefty bribe. It cost me my house, but it was worth it. No, I was lucky enough to be involved in League as Brom. Stand behind Brom. First we fight, then we eat. So I've been in Brom a long, long time. And I think they had me in mind, but they just wanted to check through, so I came in and read with the guys. And, you know, it was just intriguing that there was this guy who was a father figure, but a very violent man, but who had kind of resolved that, and that his power was in his gentleness, really. And so that really excited me about the part, and I went through a similar process. I read for them, and we kind of found the guy. We found the voice for Vanda. I love collaborating with these guys. They've always been fantastic, and this show has just been magic. So I'm very proud to be a part of it.
I mean, it's exactly the same. It's, you know, it comes through the mailbox. I I believe I was 10, something like that. So it's been 10 years. And I had no idea what League was. I had no idea what I was going in for. It was a very strange process. It wasn't like, you know, a lot of the time when you get a voiceover audition, you record it from home, you edit it yourself, and then you send it in. I had to go into an audition room, not a booth, but it was like all these other kids there, and they had like a makeshift booth set up in like the corner of this rehearsal space. They had us read, and you know, we sent it in. I didn't hear anything for a few months, and then I read with Christian and Alex, who I just adore. They are some of the most willing, genius, you know, collaborative people I have ever met in my life. But yeah, it was like a normal audition, and I think I speak for, well, most of us here when I say I don't think any of us expected it was going to become what it did. We knew that League had this incredible fan base, this really large fan base, but I don't think anyone could have ever thought it was going to become this worldwide phenomenon in the way that it did. And I think we are all incredibly lucky and feel very, very blessed to have been a part of it.
I didn't expect a 10-year-old kid to make me cry so much.
Thanks a lot.
She killed me.
God,
She killed me.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I got the audition. It's actually crazy. I've heard so many stories from so many different people in the show about their process, and I'm so jealous because I feel like I'm the only one who didn't get the chance to like read with Christian and Alex. Like, I worked with David Lyerly, who is like wonderful casting, and he voice directed a lot of my early stuff, bless you. And for the longest time, I thought David Lyerly was like Mr. Riot. You know, I didn't know that. I didn't know there was like a whole nother team. But yeah, I mean, I went in and it was just like another audition. And you know, around then I was auditioning for Cartoon Network. So if you don't know, I announced on Cartoon Network, coming up next on Cartoon Network. And I was like convinced that I had to do like a voice for every, you know, voiceover thing. You know, like voiceover, you gotta manipulate your voice, you know? And so I went in and I was just like, I was trying to do all this stuff, and they were like, hey man, like just do you know? And so went in and yeah, just like Mia said, like I definitely I didn't even know what we were doing until it was about to come out.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, oh, this is really good actually.
Kind of speaking on that for a second, in terms of having to, you know, think you have to manipulate your voice, I think another really special thing about Arcane is how grounded in realism it is, and how it focuses on the interpersonal relationships that we all struggle with every single day. And I think that comes through in the way our performances were directed. It is all grounded in realism and honesty and truth, and I think that's why it resonated in the way that it did. And I think that's really interesting, because I also think that's very rare. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
And also a credit to the performers here at this end of the table, because the amount of depth and realism in their performances, when you think about how young and incredibly talented they were at the time they did Arcane, Reed and Mia absolutely hit it out of the park. I just think you guys did such a good job.
Thank you.
Where did all that talent go, though?
Yeah, I don't know.
God.
It happened somewhere between 18 and 21, I think.
Yeah, something weird happened.
We can't all be Miley Cyrus.
As you lose your innocence and get older, you know.
It gets replaced by ego.
It's Hollywood. Hollywood did it to me.
I am a star.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, Patty, how do I get my first piece of candy? What are we doing?
We know what you're in this.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
It's individually wrapped. It's okay. It's
We know why you're here, Reed.
What do you enjoy so much about these characters?
Wow. I mean, it starts in the studio. I mean, we first recorded on this. Is it 10 years? I mean, first there was a long time, and then there were cast changes, and they kept casting stuff. And me and Jason would call each other up and go, "Are you still in this thing? What is this thing?"
You still here too, buddy? Okay, cool.
We haven't recorded for.
I thought it was just a pilot.
So-and-so got fired. So-and-so's been changed up. So are we next? Is our head on the block? But I've done a lot of animation work, a lot of game work. It's very rare where, when you're recording, I think I've told a few who've come up to our tables this story, but when you're recording, they'll show you a preview of the scene, and they'll show you, it's sort of pencil drawing animatic, it's really crudely animated, and it looks all a bit weird, you can't really follow it, and sometimes it's difficult to tell which character's which, and I've never, and that's standard across animation, they usually do that. I've never stood there, watched a scene, and suddenly realized that I had tears pouring down my face just from the animatic. And then there were these two kind of slightly punky guys, Christian Link, who was a musician, he was in charge of music at League. Yeah. That was the beginning of their relationship, and Alec as well. And they were just kind of anarchic, punky guys who didn't really know what they were doing with animation. They knew they had something special to make, but there was this kind of excited, kind of bubbling, fermenting of an idea that seemed really extraordinary. And then when they showed the artwork for the world, it was like, I don't know what you want me to do, for how much money, I don't care. I'm gonna do it, I'm in, because this is something special. You just got that vibe. Didn't know whether it was gonna be successful, that doesn't really matter. The material, the scripts, the characters were so deeply well drawn. And also, I'm a single dad of a now 20-year-old, Jesus Christ.
It's okay. It's okay.
It'll be fine, I just need a second.
You'll show me.
And so, people ask me, how did I get into the role? It wasn't that hard. My kid is neurodivergent, and I'm a single parent, and it's a journey, and one that I love, traveling on. And so there was a good connection, immediate connection with the character that made sense to me. So it was an easy choice for me. I love Vander, and subbed them for killing him in episode 3. Spoiler alert! But it was nice that it carried on, and the worst kept secret in showbiz was that he becomes Warwick. But they let me do all the creature voices for Warwick as well, so that was fantastic and a lot of fun. A lot of very different sort of studios in the first season, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Totally.
I personally, I love how community-based Echo is. And he's just sort of persistent with his goals. We don't see a lot of characters like Echo that are just sort of this is what I want to do, and this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna, let any circumstances keep me from what I want. And especially as a young black man, playing a character like that who sort of stands on business. It was important in my development. I was 16 when I started, and so it was very important in my development to see something like that. See and experience, a character like that. And it was just crazy that I was playing it, but I knew that, even though I couldn't see what it was gonna be, it was important for me, and if I could lend my voice to something so beautiful, it'll be important for somebody else.
And hoverboards.
Yes, oh my gosh, yes, in hoverboards. I actually have a plot, don't tell anybody, I have a plot. I'm going to Riot Games, and they have this huge, real life hoverboard that they had at the season 2 premiere. It's mine. I'm gonna steal it one day. And it's crazy, I know I told you don't tell anybody, but I told everybody actually. I told everybody at Riot, I was don't be mad when it goes missing, and don't come looking for it where I'm.
It's not coming back.
It's not coming back.
It'll be fine, Reed, just lawyer up.
Lawyer up.
Don't worry, no one's gonna see this. It's fine.
No, it's fine.
I'm not streaming.
It's okay.
I've got one of those Men in Black memory wipers after it.
Yeah, we're cool.
Did I say Jacksonville? We're in Saskatchewan.
There you go. I think I'm kind of on a similar wavelength, what you both said. What I really, really love about Powder is her family is everything to her. She would do anything for her family, whether that be her blood family, which is fine, or her chosen family, her found family, Vander, Milo, Clagger, Silco even, like those are her people, and she would do anything for them. And I think that is a really, that is her biggest and most important trait. Even if she doesn't do it quite right, her people are everything to her. And that's something that I have carried with me throughout my life. The people that are in my life for a reason. And though they are my family, whether or not it is, a blood relation or not, I would do anything for them. And that is what I love about Powder, and that is what I have tried to carry with me since then.
Get me to carry my bags.
Right.
Get me to
Baggage claim for me.
baggage claim, exactly. Yeah.
I
Shout out Kim wherever she is. Where's Kim? Shout out Kim. That's my best friend over
love you,
there.
Kim.
Yeah.
I just like the fact that he's a drug dealer.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, Jason, by the way, I need to pick up a little.
Yeah, no worries.
She's a powder for powder.
Yeah! Candy!
Nothing to
Now
say.
that's-
Move along.
Now that's a drug dealer. I connected with Silco's journey. I think I have 2 daughters myself, one of which is neurodivergent, and the idea that when a daughter comes into your life, you're not the same person anymore. That Silco starts out, one way, and now that we've all seen season 2, right?
Right.
That
This is season 2.
You know what? He starts out one way on a path and with a dream and an idea to have the nation of Zon, have the lanes not be so oppressed by the people of Piltover, and to just along that way be betrayed by a brother, one of the only people that he knows and loves and cares for. And regardless of whether Vander thinks that that's going to make things better for the people of the lanes, because Silco's way of going about it is full of morally questionable actions. He's still a betrayal to Silco, which then changes him into the person we see at the beginning of season 2. And then at the end of episode 3 of season 2, there's Powder standing in front of him, and he has a knife and he has a choice. And in that moment, he just embraces her instead and sees a child of the lanes, someone who he used to be, a child with someone who just abandoned her, which is how he used to feel. And he just wants that to end and embraces her. And from that moment on, he can't be the same man that he was. And I think that's one of the things I was so drawn to from the character of Silco. Even though we did get bits and pieces of the scripts all along as it came together in front of me, it was something I just felt gifted to be able to say such well-written words, and such a complicated and understated human journey is rare. It's actually quite rare as an actor, to be able to do that. The words that we were given were so well penned, and I connected with that in quite a way. That I cried myself at the very end of season 1, reading that moment, those lines where he says, "I never would have given you to them, not for anything. Don't believe for a second that this would have gone any other way, because I love you. Don't cry. You're perfect." It means something to me, because when you stand in front of your children, you have so little control over how they really became who they are and who they will be, and all you can do is tell them that you accept them. And I think that's quite a beautiful thing. So it was a privilege to do.
I gotta call my dad.
You should call your dad. He's been looking for you for a while. There's something else that was unique about this project was that Wright had the luxury of time and money to spend,
Yes.
to give us space to work.
Yeah.
And so often in animation, it's like you walk in, you bang it out, you leave, and it's like so fast. You don't
Yeah.
even get on every other show that I've worked on. It's just like it's so rapid,
Yeah.
and often you're just kind of walking into a movie, you haven't seen the script, you're just taking a punt, you're guessing. This was like, okay, full explanation of the character, full artwork, really taking your time, and over the time that it developed. Remember, they made a pilot and scrapped it.
Yeah.
and then made
Oh
another
my
one.
god.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a
And then they
long and
used pieces
laborious.
of that.
I
Yeah.
Put more
forgot
pieces
about
in the
that.
It was a long, laborious process,
That's
and
what,
you very
2015?
rarely get that luxury. So you knew that these were people that were taking care of the work, and one of the most fun things was being at the premiere and just hearing the fans spot all the little Easter eggs and freak out, like something I didn't know anything about would come out of someone's pocket, a little machine or something, and the whole audience would go, wow! What's happening? I'm not even on screen yet. But it's that kind of stuff where you knew it ran really deep, and you knew that these two guys really understood the fandom, and they were loyal to the fandom, and they were really, keeping that in mind all the way through. I think that's what made it magic.
It's a love letter.
Yeah.
That the show is a love letter, which is why it comes off that way. Why it means so much to so many people, I think.
And there's something like really, really serious about the world surrounding the show as well, because like when I was in LA for the season 2 like finale event, I got there a little bit early, and I've never seen crew people be so excited to put like things together for an event. And I realized at that moment that everybody that has any part of branding or the artists, it's everybody is in love with what they are able to do on this series. And that energy, that collective energy of like just love for something, it comes across in a way that is unlike anything else, and it just makes it such a beautiful love letter. It makes it such a beautiful piece of art, It's hard to be like, this is a show, because it's so much more than that,
Absolutely. Well, friends, before I jump in the audience, I was to say, on behalf of myself and them, I want to thank you all. I want to thank you for your talents and your professionalism and for the performances you brought. And all right, who wants to start us off? Like I said, or ask the first question. I'll get you a piece of candy, and we'll start the line right here. No, I'm not doing Donnie style. You gotta come to me. And if you're old enough to get that reference, God bless you.
What are you talking about?
That's
We
not
don't
right.
know what?
It was Mia! It was her!
It was not! It was.
Search me, I don't have anything.
I guess. All right. I'll just have to look at him the whole time. What's your name?
Max.
Yeah, what do you want to know, Max?
Hey, Max.
Max, my
I want
guy.
to know what were the hardest lines for you guys to record for your characters? Like, were you had to do it over and over again?
A lot of the stuff like that. I'm like, oh!
Damn.
Yoink! The hardest word for me was the word hello. So in the warehouse when he comes in, and it's just Vander sitting in the chair and the kids are there, and he just goes, hello. It was the strangest thing to do in his voice. Yeah, it was hard. I had to do it like 9 times. 9 times!
No, one of the biggest moments for me was hearing Mia break down as Powder. I wasn't there for the actual recording, but I heard the first take she did. He destroyed me. She's 10, and I'm like, God, what happened? It's like she just went for it. It's someone who's come so new to the business. It's very rare that you can let yourself go like that. It usually takes a kid because they're unconditioned and open to imagination, and so that's kind of incredible. Physically, the creature work for Warwick was tough on the voice. That's hard, but they had some effects that they could fill my headphones with, so I could understand the parameters of where the voice, what the beast was, and to make him kind of salivary and kind of nasty and fun. It was a challenge, but it was vocally quite taxing. But honestly, when you love the work, it's not work. It's just a dream, and you kind of turn up going, throw it at me. What do you got? What do you got? I'm ready for anything. And it's not very often you feel like that about a project. It's just like, tell me what to do. I'll tell me how to hide and jump, and I'll jump. It's awesome. So I'm very lucky about that.
I mean,
Damn good candy, by the way. Yeah, it's good.
shout out.
It has to be individually wrapped and pliable when I throw it to the audience. I used to throw out Tootsie Frootsies, but they hit people too
Oh
much.
my gosh.
Do some damage. That's
Yeah, I learned
fire.
that the hard way. So.
Send him to the hospital.
Something else that I found hard was like when we were recording 2 and they were saying, so this is like an alternate version of Echo. He's like not exactly the same type of soldier type of character, but he's like the same. you know. And so I'm like, okay, well, how do I make this different, but not different, but different? You know, it's interesting to maneuver.
Hey, what's your name?
Okay.
My name is Caroline.
Nia didn't get to answer.
It doesn't
The
matter.
floor recognizes Caroline.
Oh,
Great.
okay.
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Let's do
No,
it.
I want to hear.
Okay. Okay. I was just gonna say, I mean, exactly what JB said. If you love the work, it isn't work. But I was so young, and I think I knew it was work, but it felt like play. However, season 1, episode 3, obviously, the very end of that episode was very, very hard. There were 2 takes that were done, and they used the first because I couldn't do any more than that. So that's all.
That's all they needed.
It was devastating. Devastating.
Okay, what's your name, Caroline?
My name is Caroline. In the world of Arcane, do you think there are more wheels or more doors?
Oh, what? Okay, before anybody answers, what does this mean? Oh.
What the hell are you talking about?
Spitball.
Google.
Should we just, how about I say doors and you say wheels?
Okay.
Doors.
Wheels.
Hinges.
I plead the 5th.
There you go.
Thank you.
Caroline.
Fun one. Hi, what's your name?
Rachel, and I'm gonna ask, what are you guys' favorite Pokemon?
wow.
Okay. Fun fact. Hi.
Sylvia.
Okay, so my mom is a voice actor. She plays Dawn in Pokemon. She plays Officer Jenny in Pokemon.
What?
Right. So I'm
Where's
gonna have
she at?
Girl, she's at home.
Man.
Could have been a real star here.
Yeah, literally.
Could've been
So
real.
she's badass. Shout out, Mom. Love
Shout
you.
out, Mom.
Your mom is the best.
She is the best. Thanks.
Yeah. What happened to you?
What went wrong?
Good father tips. Just learn. Watch
Yeah,
and
there you
learn.
go. That's what you have to say. What happened to you? What the fuck? So I'm gonna say Piplup because that is my mom's Pokemon. That is Dawn's little baby. So yeah.
My knowledge of Pokemon stops with Pikachu. I'm sorry. I'm a terrible bad nerd.
I saw a thick Charizard while we were walking over here.
Bro, they got Nick Charizard.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and say thick Charizard is my favorite.
Nice.
I really enjoy thick
They
Charizard.
got Nick Charizard. Who else did they have? They had everyone.
But they spelled it with a K. I want
Period. You
thick with
ate
2
that.
C's.
You ate that.
Why?
Yeah, you ate that. I like that a lot. Also, you look adorable.
Adorable.
Cutest costume in the whole world.
Very cute.
So cute. What's your favorite?
I have to say, my favorite mythical is Darkrai, and my favorite
Nice.
regular Pokemon is Zorua.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Queen.
No, nobody but me ever says Psyduck. That's okay. Hey, what's your name?
Fiona.
Hello, Fiona.
Hey.
Hi. So I wanted to know, out of all the little fun moments in the show, what was your favorite ones to record?
Favorite to record.
The really interesting thing about voiceover is 9.5 out of 10 times you are not recording with your castmates in the booth. But I think, this isn't the recording, but I think the first table read that we had over at Riot, many years ago now, we were all at the Riot headquarters
What?
on campus. You were there to that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Sorry, Reed.
Wow.
I gotta tell you, it
I'm leaving.
was the best fun I've ever had in my life. It was really unmissable.
Yeah, it was
So much
It was
Something
incredible.
that
It was a,
If you want to go, hey, man, leave
So
here.
much fun.
Give me my candy back.
once in a lifetime.
Yeah, it really was incredible though. Just mad as hell.
I know how to shut him up.
My favorite part was the duet that Vander and Silco sang that they left out of season 1, unfortunately. What, you don't know about that?
You guys didn't know about
The duet, remember the duet that we sang in season 1?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, that's in the time bomb cut.
Yeah.
You're supposed to say yes and sing with me. You're supposed to sing.
Just ruining everything.
All right,
Our
bye.
plan.
voices are different.
The speech I give to
voice in the video
Vi
game is different than the voice
about
on the
being a
show.
leader
I
is
know.
really cool.
They'll sound
So
like,
I think
hey,
it's true.
listen, look,
You know,
watch out.
being looked up
Versus
to is
full-ass
tough
dialogue.
and uncomfortable for many of us. Not that anyone ever looked down on me.
Yeah, I think my favorite one to record was the conversation between Echo and Jinx at the beginning of episode 9 in season 2, where he's like trying to plead with her. I don't know, I just feel like there's like so many levels that are broken down in their relationship. You know, it's like the whole series, you don't really get a chance to hear them civilly speak to one another. And it's just so perfect that he has the Z drive, so he can take so many tries, so many angles, you know? So it's like, it's fun for me to watch, and then, you know, just remembering what I went through when I recorded it, because it was like hectic. My nose started bleeding as I walked into the session randomly. It was crazy. It was really crazy. I was driving up and I was ready because it was my last session, and I was like, I'm like, you know, this is like a goodbye to Echo for at least for right now, you know, and my nose just like out of nowhere.
It was the altitude of your stardom.
Oh,
Yeah.
You think that's where it started?
Oh, for real? A word?
A word.
A word. Yeah, there you go. Love that.
Thank you. Hey, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Leslie, and I just wanted to ask, when you're recording and then you watch the final version, do you have a moment where you're like, oh, I could have done so much better, or you're like, that character should have done this other thing?
Every single time.
Yeah.
Every time. Every time.
The best thing you can do is not watch.
Yeah, don't. Especially when it's on a show like this, where the art is so brilliant and the music is so brilliant and the writing is so brilliant. You're like, please don't let me be the one that screws this up.
Yeah. Truly.
Yeah.
But then you also have to trust, you have to trust them to put it together right, and they did. I think they did. I don't think no one sticks out as being a bomb deal.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. They gave us a lot of chances as well. One of the things that JB said about time is that they were not afraid to allow us to just experiment and do things in many ways.
Yeah.
It was either that or we were screwing up so much that it took that long to get it right. Maybe.
Yeah.
They never really told us that.
Yeah. How about you do it again? This time suck less. Yeah.
This time, do that, but better.
Act better.
Just remember, you are replaceable.
You weren't at the table, Reed. We can replace you.
I mean, they replaced me.
That's why you guys love Echo, because I was scared for my job the whole time. I had to execute.
That character smells like desperation. Yes. That's right.
I think actually when we went to the table, there was a piece of paper that said the table no read.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
No
yes.
R-E-E-D.
Table no read.
So,
That was
it's clear what their intention is.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
Who is this?
I'm full of dad jokes. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Not great. It's all
Thanks, yeah, cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love your cosplay.
Thank you.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Elle. I wanted to know if you had the opportunity to work as a team with like all of the voice actors that were in Arcane, would you take that opportunity?
Yes.
Yes.
Very
No.
with a few notable exceptions.
Right.
Hey, what's your name?
My name is Ellie. This is for Reed.
Hi.
So I was just wondering, at the end of season 2, when everyone is like writing on the cards and burning them.
What? That happens?
Yeah, you gotta watch season 2.
Damn it!
I was just wondering if you wrote Jinx or Powder.
Ooh. Jowder.
Powder.
You heard it here first, folks.
Powder, because at the end of the day, like, Echo, definitely we heard Echo in his regular reality call her Jinx, but that was because that was really out of like anger in the situation. But after seeing, that alternate universe and seeing a different reality and like working with her in the war and stuff like that, he sees her for who she is. She never stopped being Powder. You know what I mean? That's like a nickname, but that's Powder. That's his pow pow. I think he wrote pow pow.
That's sweet.
Oh.
No.
Her name is Jean.
It's the Imponderables. All right, Bastille, come on up.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. This is Bastille the Butler. Say hello.
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 What you got for us?
So my question, well, first things first, to you two that I've already visited, that's the girl I was talking about, that's all.
Aww.
We'll come and see you in a bit. But my actual question is, after voicing the characters and the show's done everything, you see how your voice and your characters connect. Were they perfect the way they were, or would you change at least one thing about the character you voiced?
I wouldn't change anything about her.
I just have him written more into the show.
Yeah. I kind of have him not die.
Yeah, I wouldn't kill my whole family.
It's crazy.
It's funny,
I wouldn't blow up my family.
they don't pay you when you're off the show. It stinks.
It's crazy.
so weird.
It's
That's so
crazy. They
weird.
stop paying you. It's wild.
You guys weren't in season 2? That's so interesting because I wasn't at the table read, but I made it to the end. That's amazing how that works. I love that. I love that.
Take a piece out of the bag.
Yeah, that's candy, man. Thank you.
That's good.
You know I directed, right? Reed?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, that's crazy. Right.
There was a table read
It's
for
a brief,
season 2.
brief but beautiful career.
Maybe you'll show up in season 3. It's okay, Spisak. It's cool.
Yeah, there's a season 3, Jason.
There's totally a season 3 coming.
There's hope.
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything. I think the writing spoke for itself.
I would make him the smartest man in the world. No, I wouldn't change a thing.
No.
They did too good a job.
Yeah.
Too good a job.
It is too perfect of a thing to even think about.
It's one of those things that you watch. At least I don't want to speak for everybody that's in it, but for me, I'm like, yo, how did y'all do this? How? You know, I hate coming on these panels or going to these conventions and like people thanking me for what I did, because I'm like, bro, what I did is the smallest piece of what made Arcane Arcane. You know?
Absolutely.
It's like really shout out Fortiche. You know, shout out Christian Alex, shout out Fortiche, you know, and then shout out Amanda Overton, because she's also a great writer.
There are times in this beautiful piece of art that none of us are speaking when you're watching it, and yet our characters are saying volumes. And we're not talking. And it is an incredible, incredible piece of moving art. So yeah.
The process of exploring facial expression, the little twitches, is the little tiny little observations they made that was so clever.
Yeah.
I actually got drunk with that French animation team.
No.
And you couldn't believe that they were the same people who did this amazing, incredible work.
They know how to get down. That is
a lot of fun.
Season 2 premiere, they were like, oh, Mia! And I was like, hey. They're
I actually,
lovely.
when we did like, they were doing like a bunch of events for season 1, I met the French animators for the first time, and I literally have never felt so embarrassed because they speak French. I don't speak a lick of French.
Not even a little.
But JB over here does. And so he comes up and he's like, you know, drinking with them and buddied up, and he's like pointing at me and they're all like laughing and da-da-da-da, and I still don't know what he said. But you know what? I remember, after that day, I vowed, I was like, the next time I see these guys, I'm gonna know French. I'm gonna make them laugh at JB. But the next time I saw them, I didn't know French. But my fiance, she's over there, she does know French, and so I had her speak to them. Shout out to Dale.
We are just about at time, so unfortunately this will be our last question. So, yeah, sorry everybody.
Who's coming in here after?
Yeah, come to our tables. We're
Yeah,
gonna
say hi. We'll answer
What's your
questions.
name?
My name's Evan,
What you got?
and my question is, if you had the budget to do more than 2 seasons, would you?
Yes.
Yes.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
In a freaking heartbeat.
Oh yeah, 50 seasons.
All we need is $1 gajillion.
$1 billion gajillion dollars. Yeah.
And I would fully explore Sander and Vilko's backstory. Wait, Vilko and Sander. Wait, us.
Oh
These two guys.
my
Sander?
God.
Sander and Bilko.
Sander, is that the new ship?
Slinky and Bonkers.
Sander? Vilko? Vilko, move over, J-Vic. Vilko is coming to town.
For us, that's
And
the
I've
show we
been
want to
canceled yet again.
I think we both said publicly that we'd love to see that origin story of Van Sinclair would be
Just to
really
find out what it was like to grow
If you're
up.
listening, guys, that's what we want to hear.
to grow up on the streets of the lanes together. I think that would be really interesting to see how they.
I can't wait to zone him right in the Piltover.
Whoa!
I don't know what that means. You don't know what that means.
Before we go, anybody got any projects on the horizon that they're allowed to share with us?
Nope, nothing I can talk about.
That's what this industry is all about.
Yep.
NDA, the three letters that run this industry.
That's why I say allowed. You never know. You never know. Now somebody's like, oh wait, I've got this.
I got something.
What you got?
Well, first of all, if you guys are around tonight, we're performing live at Underbelly. It's not far. I want to see you guys there. I'm performing some of my music. And also, April 3rd on Netflix, I will be in an episode of Netflix's new series, Pulse. It's like their medical series. We're tanking Grey's Anatomy, guys. Make sure you check out Pulse. It's coming out, and yeah, there's always new music dropping. But seriously, Underbelly tonight, Underbelly Jacksonville. Me and Mia are gonna be singing on stage for the first time ever. You guys don't want to miss it.
And last night here in Jacksonville, you were telling me earlier you got into your first mosh pit.
Oh yeah, very first mosh pit. It was amazing, bro. I didn't even walk out with a black eye, which I'm a little upset about, but whatever.
There's always tonight, Reed.
And the great news is that Jason's going to go-go dance for them.
Oh, yes.
I mean, come on, you can't miss that.
You guys gotta be there. Underbelly, Jacksonville, 8 p.m.
No $1 bills. He only takes $5 bills minimum.
And it's free if you've been to CollectiveCon, which I think all of you have. So
I'm pretty sure all of you have.
Wait, what?
I think that's where we're at right now, Granddaddy. I had to
Just wait till I get you.
One final question. Would y'all like to take a picture with this amazing audience?
Oh, what? Let's do it.
Everybody come up towards the stage. Not on the stage. Come up towards the stage. Take a picture of them and all of you.
Thank you to all of you.
You want to stand there?